What is going on, guys? Welcome back to the channel. I am the baddest, and welcome back to this uploading every day for a week, counting down my favorite music of 2024. Today, I'm going to be counting down my top 5 favorite rock albums of 2024. And again, just like with the metal albums, this is encompassing all sorts of different subgenres of rock. So, pretty wide variety of stuff going on here, all stuff that I really love. Let's get right into it. Coming in at number 5, I have the new record from Fontaines DC. Hopefully that wasn't the worst pronunciation ever. The record is called Romance.
I wanna see you alone, I wanna shatter the stone, I wanna bounce the bone, I wanna mess with it, I wanna let it feel.
This is a very fun, colorful, gothic record with some really fascinating melodies on display, some really fun rhythm, and a lot of really unique lyrics, and the way they're performed is pretty fascinating. I don't know, the singer of this band just has a really distinct gothic rock sounding voice that's very eerie, kind of unsettling. I don't know, it's just really interesting to sit back and take in every word that this guy is saying. And yeah, he says some pretty interesting shit on here as well. One of the songs on this record, and probably one of the biggest ones on there, I know it's gotten a lot of radio play, the second track called Starburster, really stands out to me as showing off how interesting this guy's style of performance is, where his vocals are very breathy, and a big part of the song is that he takes pauses to breathe while performing the verses and the chorus, and it sounds guttural, it sounds weird, it sounds a little bit disturbing. Yeah, there's just a lot to love on this record. There's a lot of really interesting tracks with some really interesting performances, and yeah, I've been a big fan of this one. Coming in at number 4 is the new Mannequin Pussy record, I Got Heaven. This is such a beautiful, unique record that I have been such a big fan of ever since it came out. But I've actually grown to love it more and more with time, actually. I loved it when it came out, and I love it now more than I ever did before. The writing style of this record is very interesting, and it has like, I don't know, it's a really interesting blend of like very serious conversation, and some pretty deep subject matter, and also some weird, kind of sexy, kind of young, hip-ish kind of lingo. And yeah, it sounds almost jokey at times, but there's actually a lot of really interesting themes on display here about love and vengeance, etc. And yeah, musically it's fantastic as well, though, with some beautiful performances and some really nasty bass lines. The bass lines on this record are so cool. I've had so much fun listening to this. I've had so much fun thinking about this. Yeah, I Got Heaven is a fantastic kind of punk rock record that I'm really digging. And coming in my number 3 spot, I have the new The Cure album, Songs of a Lost World. I have conversations with people all the time about how a band's or an artist's new work is never going to be as good as their old. But I don't know, this is The Cure's 14th studio album. They've been around for ages, and they sound just as good as they ever have. This is a gothic rock record with a very, very prominent focus on instrumentation as opposed to vocals. There are still vocals on the record, but a lot of this album kind of just lets you create your own imagery in your mind, and just provides sounds for you. And yeah, there's a lot of interesting subject matter on this record. One of the songs in particular, I'm forgetting the name of which one, but I know one of them was written after the lead singer's brother had passed away. And yeah, the opening track is called Alone, which has a lot of themes of loss and isolation, and every feeling on this record is so prominent and palpable. This is very much a feelings album. Like, when I listen to this album, I kind of just close my eyes and let it explore, again, using all the sounds, the very, very heavy drums, the very scratchy, heavy guitars, and the pretty luxurious performances from the lead singer. I kind of just let my mind wander with all these very dark and heavy sounds, which are incredible. Absolutely phenomenal. Again, The Cure has been around for a long time. They very much are like classic and legends at this point, but they are still creating very memorable material, such fascinating material that people are going to be talking about for a long time, no doubt in my mind. And coming in at number 2, shockingly didn't end up being my number 1, is the new Vampire Weekend record, Only God Was Above Us.
As soon as it had passed your lips, I'm a gentleman. I refuse to show my gentleness.
I am such a big fan of this album. The instrumentation all over it is so creative. The layering of so many different instruments. It's like, I remember I saw these guys live. I saw Vampire Weekend live, and there's only 3 guys in the band, and they start off performing the lead song of this album with just the 3 of them, and then they drop a curtain behind them to reveal a whole fucking full orchestra, because that's what it took to make this record. The insane amount of instruments being played simultaneously to create such a fascinating, colorful, vibrant soundscape is so beautiful. And the writing on this record is incredible. There's so many fascinating themes about the negativity in the world, about the societal classes, and about the culture war. Every single piece of this record was so meticulously crafted to share a message in a way that would really stick with you. It shares a message in a really interesting way, but it's also so fun to listen to. Absolutely beautiful singing from the lead singer. Fucking just crazy creative instrumentation. And just so many fun, vibrant, and exciting songs. I absolutely adore this record. I've had so much fun with this album. I had a great time seeing them perform it live, and it's one that I just find myself coming back to. But it did manage to get beat out by my #1 rock record of the year, which is the new Violet Pony record called Monarch of Monsters.
I've been up for 3 days and I'm burning up. So much for laying low.
This album had so much work put into it that it's not just an album. It actually has a complete 70-ish page tie-in story alongside it. And yeah, the story of this album and the story this album tells and the themes of this album are very dark and very serious, but they really speak to me, and I really enjoy thinking about what this album says and what it stands for. So, content warning for some of what's on this album. There's a lot of themes relating to sexual assault and rape, and it's very, very dark and very, very off-putting. Like the vocals occasionally just sound like they're crying out for help. It's a noise rock album, so there's a lot of like loud sounds. There's a lot of in-your-face moments, and yeah, there's not a lot of times where it like gives you a chance to breathe. There's always some hectic shit going on, but it covers all of its content very tastefully, and it's a bit of a hard listen. It's a bit of a weird listen, but I really respect the way it decided to cover all of its content and the fact that it did it all. It covers a lot of very taboo subjects, and it tells a story that a lot of people wouldn't want to hear, but it does it, and it does it in, I would say, the best way it could. And it also has some fantastic music. Some of the instrumentation is absolutely stunning. The vocal performances are so versatile. There's so many different, it sounds like there's multiple people on this record because there's just such a wide variety in the performances, and they're all absolutely stunning. And yeah, it's a weird listen. There are some songs that stand out as being really fun to come back to, like the first 2 tracks, Pest and Play Dead, Play Dead. But some of it you really got to listen to as like a collective project in one sitting. There's a 10-minute song, there's a 20-minute song. There's not a lot of tracks on this album, but it's very long. And again, it tells a whole story from the start to the end. So you kind of got to listen to it all the way through. Which I have done several times because I really do love this album so very much. I highly recommend it, especially to anyone that's a survivor of any kind of SA. Bit of a heavy way to conclude the video, but that is my favorite rock record. And those are my top 5 rock records of the year. I hope you had a good time. If there's anything that you really liked that I didn't include, please feel free to tell me in the comments. Maybe I've listened to it, maybe I haven't. If I haven't, I'd love to give it a go. So yeah, be sure to leave some comments for me. I hope you guys have been enjoying this week. This is the second video of a week of a bunch of videos, so I hope you're enjoying it. And yep, there's more to come, so be on the lookout. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you guys tomorrow. Bye-bye.